Hey guys, Crystal here with a Simon Says stamp project. Today we're doing some very easy 4 cards 1 kit, soft and delicate with just the kit contents and very basic supplies, so stay tuned for 4 very fun cards. We're going to start with this awesome ink blended background, a little bit of a watercolor windows, and the beautiful, beautiful die included in the kit. We're doing a little bit of fussy cutting for our flowers, and the whole thing comes together very easily. So I'm glad you're here. We're going to begin by using the beautiful, this is a die included in the card kit. We have the Simon Says Stamp Spring Windows 6x8 clear stamp set. So it's a really large stamp set. It's stamped and watercolored. That video will be coming soon. Using Distress Oxide and Worn Lipstick, white cardstock, and then of course some 12 double-sided sheets of the Cardbella Flower Garden 6x6 paper pack. So we have one sheet of this, and I'm going to fussy cut several flowers from this beautiful pattern paper, and we're going to use these as embellishments for our first card. And again, very easy way to use all the canned contents. I have a cardstock 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is Neenah 110-pound cardstock. And then with an ink blender, we're doing some worn lipstick from the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide line, and doing the bottom, the left, and then the upper right corner very, very lightly, just to add a little bit of color. And then I'm going to bring in one of the distress markers. So guys, this kit includes 3 Tim Holtz Ranger distress markers. So I added it onto some acrylic block, grab my water brush, and splattering all over to create some splatters. And then once that's all done and dry, we're going to put our card together. And I like to create card fronts instead of making card bases because it makes it easy to store. I have one of the windows from the Spring Window stamp set that I have colored with watercolors, added foam adhesive to the back, and then we're going to add to the center of our card front. And I'm going to try to layer these little flowers again that we had fussy cut from the Flower Garden 6x6 paper pack, added foam adhesive to the back as well, and then layering under them just to use them as embellishments. And then I have die cut that beautiful die set included in the kit as well from 2 white pieces of cardstock, and we're going to add that right on top of our window. And to do some further embellishment, we're going to grab some white paint and we're going to splatter on top of the whole thing. Not too much over the window, just so it doesn't smear it, but the white really centers the whole thing. And if you don't have white paint, I'm using Altenew paint. You can do some white watercolor, create a nice little swash, and then flicker it with your brush. And that was our first card. For our second, we're going to use some pattern paper, the same window with watercolor, but a different way to utilize our beautiful die kit. So again, we have the pattern paper that's included, but is also included is the awesome Tim Holtz Ideology Sentiment label stickers. They're so fun, and I was like, you know what? This is going to be an encouraging card. Smile beautiful, and it keeps it very easy. So our pattern paper, this black and white, is from the Flower Garden 6x6 paper pack. And like I said, this is included in the kit. I'm going to bring back my white paint, and I'm going to splatter it all over just to give it a little more dimension. Again, if you don't have white paint, grab some watercolor that has white, add a little bit of water, create a nice little medium, and then flicker it, and it's going to give you the same effect. Next, I have one of the windows, again from the Spring Windows 6x8 clear stamp set. And guys, what I did, I stamped these on watercolor cardstock, and then I watercolored using my watercolor markers, and then I cut them out, and then I had them ready for cards. So again, it's really easy to mass produce. If you're on a road trip or just kind of looking for something to do while watching a movie, stamp your images and then watercolor super easily, and then you can have them later on for your cards. I added a piece of twine there at the top with some clear glue, and then I have the beautiful die set included in the kit, and this is brand new. And so I did the first part, the background in white, and then the beautiful in black, and then I used clear adhesive to embellish or to adhere those 2 things together, and added foam adhesive to the back. And then last but not least, I'm going to use some white Nouveau drops. These are the flat white. There's nothing to them. And I'm just going to add a couple drops here and there to really bring some more dimension to it. And again, just kind of giving a finishing touch, but the whole thing comes together very easily. And again, we're using very minimal supplies for this card kit. And then once that is done, I'm going to come in with the Tim Holtz Ideology Sentiment label stickers, and we're going to grab the Smile, which is a singular sticker. I've added a little of foam adhesive on the back because I want this to be raised on top. And after the video, I come back and actually straighten it out as I'm coming in and filming through the side. So bear with me. I did straighten it out for the photo, but we placed that Smile over the beautiful. Next, we have 3 layers of beautiful here with some ink blending. Super easy to create this card. Very basic supplies. We're doing some ink blending, some basic cardstock cutting, splattering, and the whole thing comes together super easy. Okay, so we have 3 colors of Distress Oxides. This first one is Worn Lipstick. So first, I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base, or card panel, depending on what you like to do. And then out of a separate sheet, I cut a triangle that's going to match right in the center. I'm going to bring in that Worn Lipstick and do a very fast, very basic ink blending. I'm going to place my triangle with foam adhesive over the top. But before I do that, I'm going to use that triangle to kind of use as a ruler as to where to stamp. So I'm going to be using the Hello Friend, which is a full stamp set from the Windows 6x8, but I only want to use the hello. So I ended up masking the friend part and inking up the hello. And then I'm going to put my little triangular piece back just so I can be sure to get it right. And then I'm going to add the purple tape to mask the hello. And now we're going to ink up the friend. And then I take the tape off, and now we can use a stamp set or a stamp that has 2 sentiments and separate those. Once that's done, I'm going to add my triangle and place it over the ink blending just because it makes it super nice. It looks like it's kind of shadowing in pink, right? Next, I have 3 sets of the beautiful die cut out, all in white cardstock, and I'm going to begin by using that Worn Lipstick, and I'm going to ink blend the beautiful. If you had matching cardstock, you could totally cut it out, but this is a way to use your basic supplies. Next, I'm going to use the Spice Marmalade, which is a beautiful orange, and I'm going to, again, ink blend, add some color to it, and it doesn't have to be Distress Oxide. You can use whatever you want, but this is my favorite ink just because it's so moist and so squishy. It's a beautiful color. Last but not least, I'm going to use a darker pink, and I'm going to do, again, that beautiful. And I thought about coming in with a little bit of red just to really make a difference between the darker and the light pink. Then I'm going to place those onto the white background, the white shadow, and then adding foam adhesive to the back. I have a piece of clear adhesive here. We're using glue dots, and I have some gold twine. And the reason I'm bringing gold twine is because I'm going to do flickers of gold, but just to give it a little dimension, I'm going to do my gold twine. I'm going to create a circle ball of it. I'm going to use that adhesive to hold on to it, but then I'm going to use the beautiful to hide it. So I'm going to add my center beautiful, which is that one with the little orangey color, first to serve as my marker that's centered, and then adding the other 2. And these are all, of course, adhered with foam adhesive. And last but not least, I'm going to embellish using some Studio Cadia gold and clear embellishment, so feel free to use whatever you want. And then I have this gold spray from what is it? I think this is Heidi Swap. I don't think they even sell it, but Altenew has a gold spray. And I covered my beautifuls with the glue dots packaging just so I wouldn't get a ton of it. And look how fun that is. The gold twine and the gold sprays with a little bit of embellishment kind of close it all off. And last but not least, we have some ink smooshing and using some more of the pattern paper in the beautiful Tim Holtz sentiment label stickers, and the whole thing comes together really, really cool. So with this being the last card of our video, I think you're really going to enjoy how easy and simple it is to create. I have some cardstock here. I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 white Neenah. I have another piece. This is actually watercolor cardstock from a stash. And then I have a piece of acetate also included in the kit, 4 1/4, 5 1/2. And I'm going to use it to do some ink smooshing. I'm going to bring in my Distress Oxides and that worn lipstick and Spice Marmalade. And I'm placing them right on the center of my acetate. So you can do shaker cards or you can use it to ink smoosh. I'm going to do a little bit of spray here with water, and I'm going to bring the cardstock directly to the acetate that has our ink, and I'm going to press down and really let it set for a couple minutes to allow that watercolor cardstock to absorb the watercolor. And you can even use Neenah or other type of white cardstock. I'm going to clean off the excess with this dried baby wipe, and I'm going to come in and do a second layer. We're going to let that dry. And once it's dry, I'm going to add, like I said, that second layer. So I'm going to use the acetate again. And so again, we're using that worn lipstick pink and a brush to add some color to this because I really wanted a dark segmented pink version right in the center. And then I'm going to bring acetate to cardstock. That way I don't press too hard and I can see where the color is going to set. And again, you want to let it sit a couple minutes if you have the time to be sure that it fully absorbs it. So this is what it looks like when it's all nice and dry, and be sure that it's nice and dry before you move on to this next step. So in the 6x8 spring windows stamp set, there's this cute little like dots. It looks like flickers, and I'm going to use Lucky Clover from the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides, and I'm going to stamp these colors onto it, and I'm adding a little bit of gray, and I'm going to place this whole watercolor beauty onto that white 4 1/4, 5 1/2 cardstock, and I'm going to try to center it to the best of my ability while I record sideways. And then you have a really nice clean clear edge. We have this set of flower pots, and this is from the Flower Garden. That's actually little labels, and I just cut the center part of it to utilize it. Then Thank You Friend is from the Tim Holtz Ideology Sentiment labels. I'm going to cut it, try to cut it in the center, and having to come back and use better scissors. Also Tim Holtz, just go straight for the Tim Holtz stuff. And I'm going to cut the edge of that thank you. We're going to add, make it clear up. And I thought about adding foam adhesive, but I decided, you know what, we're going to adhere this straight to that cardstock. I have the beautiful die from Simon, and so this kit, it does include vellum cardstock. I did the outer shadow in the vellum and then the beautiful in the white, and I'm going to be using some clear adhesive for this because I want the vellum to kind of be the main focus of the card. So the whole thing is going to be thank you, beautiful friend, and we get to use very simple supplies. And then I'm going to press down on that die, and I was just kind of just holding it so it doesn't fold downwards because we're only partially adhering it, and it makes it look really cool because it's kind of floating. Makes it really neat. And last but not least, we are going to do some embellishments, and I have some more Studio Caria black beads here. And using some mono Tombow adhesive, I'm going to add some of these little black beads. They have a pearlescent color to them, makes them look really cool, and it kind of ties in the black of the Tim Holtz Ideology Sentiment label stickers and the whole card. And guys, that does it for me. Thank you so much for joining me on this 4 cards 1 kit video. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Let me know your comments, thoughts, concerns down below on the comment box. All products are listed down below. And guys, if you decide to purchase this kit or any of the products, use the links in my product description as well. It's an affiliate link. I get a tiny little commission with no extra cost to you, and that supports me in making these videos for you with ideas. Guys, thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.